What's up, YouTube? Hey, today we're going to be talking about this 90mm Sony macro lens and why you should have it in your bag. Hey guys, my name is Eric Cameron. I'm a self-taught photographer, and I'm excited to share with you all the experience that I have throughout the years, about 20 years in the industry. And on this channel, you can expect to find gear reviews, tips and tricks, and all the latest trends that are coming to the industry. And if that interests you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up and a like as well, and on to the show. What show are you going to? I don't know. Oh boy. So what am I using this lens for? Well, there's three types of photography that I do mainly right now, and that would be product photography, which I think this lens is fantastic for. Very, very high quality images, extremely sharp. Like, it's probably one of the sharpest lenses I've ever used, period. I used to be a Canon user, and I've had the Canon 100mm macro, a Sigma 105 macro, and I'm going to be honest, nothing really compares to this. Sony has outdone themselves with this lens. It's one of the big reasons why you should go and put it in your camera bag, get a hold of one right away. So sharp. Number two on my list is portrait photography. So I do a lot of senior photography. I used to be into weddings quite a bit, and the lens is great for those close-up detail shots in weddings, but it's also great for portraiture shots whenever you're working with a standalone client, like a senior, high school senior pictures. Again, you're getting real great quality in the sharpness, but then you're also getting that f2.8 aperture all the way through at 90mm, blurring out the background. It just creates a beautiful bouquet that everyone loves. And the third type of photography that I'm doing with this lens is more personal type work, landscape. It just has a very wide aperture range that you can go through to f2.8, clear up to f22. You get the nice crisp picture all the way through that range. So now let's talk about the features of the lens. So this is a really nice metal body design. Sony has done a really nice job with the quality of this lens. So I want to kind of go over the three buttons on the actual lens here and tell you what they actually are. So the first one that we'll go over is the optical steady shot, and it's an on and off switch. And I'm just going to be honest that whenever you throw optical stabilization on with a lens, it really makes a huge difference whenever you're hand holding images and shooting in low light with a slow shutter speed. So always have that thing on whenever you're shooting in low light. Makes a huge difference on your sharpness of your image. Now, I will tell you also that whenever you have this mounted to a tripod, that you're going to want to turn that off, as image stabilization on a tripod tends to give a wobble effect to the image, and it's really going to be not very helpful to you whenever you're going through and pulling them up on the computer and taking a look at them, and then you've got that perfect shot, and then bam, it was ruined because optical steady shot was on whenever you were on a tripod. And the next button that we've got, or switch that we've got, is a toggle switch for the depth on how close that you can focus. And what it does is it's a focus range. So the tighter you are, the less you want the focus to go through the whole range of focus on the actual lens. You can stop these down and between the different ones. So I guess it's an idea or an example would be is if you're shooting a portrait, you want it to be on the full range, because then you're going to be back further and it's going to pick up a better range for the actual focus. And then the closer you get to your subject, the more you want to dial that down so it's not shifting through the whole focus range for the distance you are from your subject. And then we've got the lens button here that's programmable to whatever you would like it to be. And then the last thing that I wanted to point out as far as the design of the lens goes is the focus ring and how it locks from autofocus to manual focus with just a shift. And I'm going to be honest, I wish that all lenses had this functionality. It's so nice and so easy to use, pulling it back into manual focus. And then you've got your markings down here on how many feet or centimeters or meters that you are from subject, to kind of get lined up or get a close picture on where you're at focus wise. But that is such an easy and convenient switch to have on a lens. Again, I wish all lenses had that. It's so nice. Now, as you can see on the side here, we've got a 62 millimeter thread size to where you can use for ND filters, polarizers, whatnot. It's a little bit smaller than what most lenses are, I guess, that I would typically use, that range in that 77 millimeter diameter. But nonetheless, it does think, I guess, you have to kind of have a second set of those if you do use them. I'd also like to point out too that Sony does claim that this is weather resistant. Now let's note that it's weather resistant and not weather sealed. That's why you're not seeing any rubberized gaskets on the back of this lens for the actual seal. It is just weather resistant, which is going to keep the dust and moisture out of the lens elements, which is a really good thing. I will also say that this lens is fairly heavy, and rightfully so. It has 11 elements and 15 groups, I believe. So it's got a lot of glass inside of it, so it's a lot of moving parts. So it's a very heavy lens, and whenever it's coupled with the camera, you can definitely tell it's on there. Alright, so wrapping this up, I do want to show you a few images that I've taken with this lens itself, and just kind of show you zoomed in how sharp it really is on both the portraiture side and on product photography. So let's take a look at those images right now. Again, thanks for watching. I'll talk to you guys next time.